Here we are, Thursday evenings on Triller Plus, Friday mornings live to the podcast world on all podcast platforms. Talk and shop, thegoodbrothers.dashery.com. The store is absolutely live.
It's
But we got
live.
to start. We got to start today off. It's a very somber day in the talk and shop world. We lost a friend of the talk and shop world, and I'm going to allow Big LG to please go forward with this.
Yeah, yeah. I missed the podcast yesterday morning, which would have been last week.
Yeah, no
It,
worries.
it was ironic the way that worked out because my alarm was messed up, and then when I did wake up, 20 minutes later, I got a call saying that to go to our friend's house, Scotty Beach. His girlfriend, the 911 people asked me to come there, and when I got there, he was passed away. So for anybody who knew Scotty or knew our history. I spent a lot of time with him, you know, and my son and I, and he helped coach my son in amateur wrestling and helped him out in pro wrestling, and he was my buddy. I don't know what else to say about it right now. It's
Yeah,
it's a lot to
no,
unpack.
it's a lot to unpack.
Yeah,
Hopefully, I don't know what people believe in. I know we believe in a higher power, a God, and we hope
yep,
that, that He is at peace.
yep. That's all you can
Is
hope
really
for.
all we can say. I just remember I came to your place and Scotty walked over to you on the couch and said, "Here you go, Captain." And he'd made you a drink. And I said, "Did he just call you Captain?" And he said, "Well, yes, of course."
Yeah, he did. He lived with me for a long time when I was a bachelor, and he helped me out and took care of me, and yeah, we had a
That's
lot of
what
good
I'm.
times together.
And it's like that's I think the beautiful things. I think we've lost a lot of people in the last
Yeah,
since let's just say since the COVID days, since 2020, the talking shop world as
yeah,
we've lost
it's
4 or 5 of our our friends.
five friends from Talking Shop Mania are gone, and that's a crazy thing to think about when it was only 5 short years ago. It's
It sucks, and every time we start to talk about one of them, one of us, we start. It always starts off sad, and we end up fucking start laughing because that's
yeah,
just kind of the way it is. And I think we've
yeah.
we've joked about this before. Again, rest in peace, Scotty. We hope you're. I hope his family is well.
R.I.P. Scotty Beach.
Um,
Yeah,
we've talked about this a lot, and I might as well just say it here. We've always said after if the good brothers when the good brothers pass, I think of course immediate sadness, and then it'll just be a fucking laughing all the time.
yeah. Sadly, yes.
Remember, oh man, it's so sad. But remember that son of a bitch said this, and I think our
Yeah.
funerals are just going to be a fucking laugh fest.
Yeah, yesterday was an up and down day. I spent, 10 hours, 12 hours on his couch with his family and friends, and it was a lot of that, a lot of ups and downs. So,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm
Guess it's a
sorry.
good way to be remembered. So,
Sorry for the loss of your friend, my friend. I asked my 2 oldest sons who remember a lot of our guys, and
yeah,
I showed them a picture of Scotty, and I said, "Do you remember Scotty?" And they both said yes, and they
yeah,
because they both went on the tour with me
yeah, yeah.
when we were in Chicago and Brock Lesnar made one of his the rare appearances. Thank you, Brock, for
Thank you,
showing
bro.
up. For
Christmas,
yeah,
we were
for his Christmas loop appearance.
yeah,
But that was great that he showed up because the place was fucking sold out. I'm being
yeah.
serious when I say thank you for
Brock or Scotty?
yeah, thank you, Brock.
Thank you, Scotty. Thank you, Brock.
Yeah, thank you, Scotty. Thank you, Scotty and Brock. But
Yeah,
but Brock came and Scotty watched both of our kids,
he
watched our children in the
he
crowd,
did.
and
He did. Yeah.
and he was great with them. And they both, when I told them the news, they were both very sad. So
Yeah, yeah. Scotty Beach, aka the legendary rim job, which he was very proud of
the
from Talking Shop
legendary
Mania,
rim job from Talking Shop.
Talking Shop Mania fame.
Um, Here we are, guys. Friday mornings, all podcast platforms. Last week, you heard Kevin Thorne, you heard Mordecai. I mean,
Yeah,
what a guy! Like
what a
what a
dude.
what a what a story he has, though, because everybody remembers Mordecai, and I explained to him. We have Bryan in the waiting room right now. Bryan Idle's in
Yep,
the waiting room. If you've got a text message, if you want to text them and tell them we'll be to him in a second. You know what I
yep,
mean?
yep, yep, yep.
Um, But Mordecai, I was explaining to him that in 2004, I was working a job, and when I would get done doing my job, I was able to sit down on the couch and watch SmackDown and watch Raw with dreams and aspirations of being on Raw and being on SmackDown and thinking, will I ever be on those days? And then I started seeing vignettes for a fucking guy called Mordecai, and I said, this is so cool. And then
Yeah.
he was able to explain, you know, what all went into that, the trials and tribulations of that time in the
Jeez.
WWE
Yeah.
of dealing with
Yeah.
the political ramifications.
The political
Also,
minefield.
and yeah, the political minefield. But he also took, he looked into the mirror and said that he made some mistakes with a lot with his outside stuff when he got
Mhm.
into a lawsuit and
Yeah.
what you call. And he's doing really well now. He looks fucking
Doing great.
awesome.
Yep.
He is a realtor. He's got a family, and he's doing good. He looks great. He's a big bastard,
He's a
and I'm
huge
glad that he
bastard.
came on. Big LG.
Yes,
I see
sir.
you got a little cat there. You look like
I,
Doctor Evil, man.
this cat, brother, is just another page in the book, man.
The
He just bit me. I'm not kidding. Just bit me right on the finger for no reason. I was being polite to him. Here we are. Thanks.
okay.
You can bite me again, you
You
fucking.
can't you can't be getting attacked by cats.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just sitting here getting pelted every way possible. But
Uh,
anyway,
oh, fuck. Oh, it's so
the
fucking.
legendary NWA, I believe he's the United States champion.
Who are you talking
Brian
about? Brian Idol. It's not the
Idol.
United States champion. He is the
He's the television
television
champion.
champ.
He's the NWA television champion, excuse me. The NWA television champion, the red belt. It's a legendary belt. He is the holder to the keys to the NWA. He is a guy that we we knew about vaguely, but we recently really stumbled upon, and boy, did he pop the hell out of us.
I
And we
gotta
started
say,
seeing him
yeah.
just everywhere. I looked over in a locker room in Puerto Rico, and there was Brian Idol. And then I was tying my shoes in Mexico, and I looked up, and there was Brian Idol. And then I was in Duluth, Minnesota, and I looked over, and there was Brian Idol. And I said, "Holy shit, this guy's a world traveler."
I like how we both have our good brother gear on too, of
Oh
course.
yeah, Dashery, Good Brothers. What's in store again? I had a rough day yesterday.
The
Go
Good Brothers, the Good Brothers dot dashery
dot dash.
dot com. Remember to reach out to the Good Brothers, Talkin' Shop, TALKNSHOP, Good Brothers at gmail.com. Ask us shit, comment. We got a ton of emails popping into the inbox. So we're gonna have a big email day someday soon.
Nice.
It's early in the morning. It's 5:40 a.m. The Good Brothers are the Talking Shop is an early morning podcast, soon to be an early morning radio show. We'll get into that soon.
You bite
We're
me
gonna
again.
go ahead and bring our guest,
The great Brian
the
Idol.
great, and we're gonna admit him in here. There he is.
Got him.
There he is.
As I'm sure he's traveling from town to town.
Oh,
We're running hot already, Brian.
he hasn't had a day off in 144 days. Your NWA television champion. Look at him right there. He's got flowing locks. He's in the back of a chauffeured car, clearly. The great Brian Idol.
Wait, if
Not
he's in
even
the
gonna.
back of a chauffeur car, does he have a baby
No.
steering wheel in front of him?
Oh, is he
Yeah.
driving? Oh,
No.
hell
Yeah.
yeah.
No. I'm driving a 1986 Pontiac Fiero, dude. Is what is happening right now.
I love it.
Oh, I love it. So we were just
Holy shit.
we were saying, Brian, thank you for doing this early
Yes,
morning
thanks for
for
doing
us.
it for us, man.
We're in
Yeah. It's,
we're an early morning brothers now.
Sadly, yes.
We've turned over the leaf. We don't fuck around at night anymore. We've done our thing. Early morning is where we're at. We were saying we enjoyed our time at NWA so much, and we were talking to you. We saw you in Mexico, in Juarez, Mexico. And
Cartel country.
and you walked up to us and you said, what happened with the NWA stuff? Like I thought you guys were coming, and we were like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
We talked to a couple people, and it just kind of fell off into the waste. And you said, well, you know what? I'm going to get on this. And so the very next day or a couple days later, you
Yeah.
were like, hey, you guys are in for NWA. I think this person's going to call, blam, bam, bam. And I mean, you handled business right away. First off, thank you for that.
Yeah,
No
it
problem.
was great. Brian Idol was the bridge to bring the Good Brothers to the NWA.
Yeah,
But
it's
I
the
was also commenting, Brian. I said, we were always aware of you, but didn't realize what a world traveler that you were. And one day I was in a Puerto Rican locker room and I looked up and I saw Brian Idol. Then one day I was in a Mexican locker room and I looked up and I saw Brian Idol. And then One time I was probably somewhere in Minnesota and I looked up and I saw Bryan Idol and I said,
He's
"Holy
everywhere.
shit, this
I
guy's
get around.
literally everywhere."
Yeah, man. You gotta just like you guys. You gotta do this thing, man. We're out here making money and wrestling.
That's the name of the
It's
game,
not for
brothers.
everybody. Yeah,
Making
not
towns
everybody
and
can pull it
crushing
off,
clowns,
but
baby. I love it. So
that's
so
what I'm saying.
give us the full blown for the Talking Shop listeners who don't know. What is the story of Bryan Idol? Where did it start? And how did this train get to be worldwide, baby?
Oh god damn, man.
That's
I've
a,
been wrestling way too long,
yeah,
dude.
that's an open book.
Like
Yeah,
way too long. Like
get going, Bryan. Just tell your
I
story,
start
baby.
I will. I started in 1999, man.
Wow.
So this is my 26th year in wrestling. I was 16 years old when I started.
Love
Uh, I mean, I can tell you the first, like, the first, I did a couple like, small shows, but the first real show I did, like where it was actually like hundreds of people, I was 17 years old, and I just like I'm saying, forget all the whatever, but just imagine, you're in high school and like I'm not doing homework and it's my senior year and I don't give a shit and I live on my own and this is my first big wrestling show and it's in Long Island, which is where I spent some of my teenage years.
Yeah.
And not all of them, but some of them. But I just remember like here I am in this big moment, this show, and the main event in this fire department. It's on like a Thursday. There's like 600 people there,
Oh,
and
sweet Thursday booking.
yeah, and the main event is like a Thursday in February. The main event is, I believe it was a man called the Punisher, which could have been anybody.
Any Punisher.
Naturally.
Yep. Versus Tony Atlas.
Hell yeah.
And aside from the weirdness of Tony Atlas making the joke saying, "Did you fart?" And I was like, "What?" And I'm 17 years old, dude.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not trying to. I don't want to incriminate the guy because I don't think he was just being a guy. It was locker room,
Just being
stuff.
a brother. Yeah.
Yeah. And he told me, this is the first time I ever told this story publicly. He said, "Did you fart?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, I want to stick my nose up your ass and smell your asshole." That's what Tony Atlas said to me.
In pure Talking Shop fashion, that sounds like a party.
Tony Atlas, that's so funny. He said when I was 18 years old, I was in a locker room just like that, and I was timid, and the big legendary Tony Atlas is over there, and he takes off his tights, and I just happened to glance over, and he goes, "What's the matter? You never seen a dick this big before?" I don't know, sir. And then he just did a big belly laugh.
No,
and I went, "Well, here we are, pro wrestling, boys."
That's it.
Well, do you think Tony wanted to put his nose up your asshole? Was that kind of what it was?
I mean, no, I just think he was just trying to shock me. But then the best part, like the moment of where it all really, came together for me was, so I'm sitting there and he asked me, this is like later on in the night, and there's a keg of beer and the Punisher dude, with his black eye football paint makeup, like painted like this is a bald man.
Punisher definitely was going to smash a couple when he was finished his big
he was like shaved bald head, he's like really, probably 5'9", but stocky.
Yeah.
And wearing the typical black that the Punisher would wear.
The Punisher regalia.
And he's in his mid 50s.
Sure.
And he's pounding beers from the keg. He's over pumping it. I remember he's over pumping it. And I was like, why is he pumping it so much? And then Tony Atlas just looked at me. He mumbled something about that he was supposed to be Hulk Hogan. And then it went quiet again for a minute. I watched the Punisher over pump this keg again. And then Tony Atlas looked back at me and said, "Don't smoke crack." And I went, "All right."
I won't.
And that was basically my first wrestling show. Real experience.
And you were like, "I'm going to spend the rest of my adult life doing this."
I mean, how could you not with an introduction like that? No, actually, it was so great though, the match. So the most carny thing, this is a crazy indie show with guys named Bad Boy Rocky Shore, and you know what I mean. I mean, it's just the carniest of them all. But the idea they came up with for me at the thing though was to bill myself from World Gym and say I was like 260 55 pounds, and I must have been a buck 50. So I came out in the baggiest pair of pants, oiled up at a buck 50. And I am telling you, dude, they threw so many hot dogs and sodas at me before I even got to the ring that I was like, oh my God, pro wrestling is the coolest thing in the world. Like I couldn't believe what was happening. And I remember even like, and I was like, the match was like totally bad. No psychology, just taking crazy suplexes. And I remember at one time I take a belly to belly
crazy
overhead.
suplex.
Yeah, like this dude, I got some like wannabe. He's like, if Kevin Nash was 6 feet tall, I got this guy, and he's choke slamming me and belly to belly overheading me. And I mean, I was so into it at one point, like I actually was selling, and I crawled onto the bottom rope, and I just remember like somebody hit me with a hot dog, and then I took the opportunity, because I mean there was so many. I mean, like at least like 50 hot dogs in a clip, like flying at me. And I just remember I took the time to like pose with my skinny little bicep, and like I got 4 hot dogs immediately. And I don't know. So that was great. I was hooked from then. And then, a lot of what you'd call journeyman stuff. And I got around the world, though. I did, I've been to Japan, England, Italy, China, Mexico, Canada, Australia. I pretty much got it all covered. I was supposed to go to India a bunch of times, but those tours always fell through and weird stuff.
India's its own unicorn.
It is. Somebody once made me sign a very good contract deal to go to Dubai, and then it never went through. And the words the person used was, he said the person in charge was, quote, feathering his own nest.
Well, that's a very pro wrestling term. We had so many meetings.
Yeah, I never.
I got to run up the pole.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, Billy Gunn said that to me once.
I wonder if the Punisher was hoping that Tony Atlas was going to put his nose up your sphincter, and the Punisher was going to have a ball gag on or something.
Oh yeah, the Punisher probably just smashing beers.
So I don't know if you know this guy. I think it might have been him. I can't confirm, because this is 1999,
right?
And I didn't know anybody on the scene really. I think it might have been, and I could be wrong, but somebody once told me that it might have been a dude known as the Metal Maniac.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Shubby Dubby. I knew the Metal Maniac.
It might have been him. Wow. It might have been him. So I don't know. But somebody was like, I think that was the Metal Maniac.
Known for loving hot dogs. So it's ironic that all these hot dogs were tossed at you during this match.
I hear Andrew Anderson talk about Metal Maniac.
It used to always, in the Northeast, it was always the Metal Maniac versus Jimmy Snuka, because the Metal Maniac would drive Snuka to the show.
Of course.
And then he would work with the Metal Maniac, because Shubby Dubby, brother Jeff will take care of you, baby.
But that's what's so. I try to explain to people, especially with people in my neighborhood or whatever. I mean, there's so much going on in professional wrestling. Trying to tell people that I'm not in WWE anymore, and they go, and they look at me like they're like, I just fell off.
Sad for you.
They fell out, like I lost my entire family or something or whatever. But like we were just in Chillicothe, Ohio, where we were selling combos for an unreasonable price, and this guy walked up to me, and he walked up to the table. He walked up to the table and said, "My God, the Good Brothers." We said, "That it's us." And he goes,
"Here we are."
Well, when are you guys going to start wrestling again? And I said, "Well, shit. We're here, buddy." He goes, "Really? Are you still?" And
there's a ring, isn't there?
And of course, the people listening to this podcast understand that we're wrestling, and people that are wrestling fans understand it. But there's guys like Bryan Idol that he's been all over the entire world. He's a journeyman. He's making a living in this business. He's the NWA World's Television Champion, which is the coolest championship. And I'm not a huge belt mark, but when I get out of that moment, when I get out of trying to say that I'm not, I guess I actually
That's
am.
The one you remember. Yeah,
I am for the television title and the big world title. All those big, those things remind me of my childhood and takes me back to watching wrestling with my dad and watching wrestling with my mom on those Saturdays and Sundays. But explain that, dude. You have been all over the world, and we just, like I said, we saw you personally
in cartel country.
Yeah, we saw you in Juarez, Mexico, and we talked about it. And I mean, and now you're the NWA World's Television Champion, and the NWA is doing really cool things, and like we're happy to be a part of it after years of not. And explain the journey to what all it was to get there.
Well, it's the journey of getting screwed over by a million people in a million. I'm proud of myself that no one ever really helped me get anywhere.
Yeah.
And I mean that, like, it's not so fun to say when it's happening, but like, at least when you get somewhere, and like you did it with like the most minimal help. And in fact, probably 90% of the people were trying to push me out of shit. And even
Yep.
once, I don't know if you know the story, but I already been out of the NWA once.
Oh, no, I did
So
not.
yeah,
Yeah, that doesn't
the
surprise me.
first run I lasted about 8 months, and I got booted out, and then I had to come back. But
That's pro wrestling, baby. That's
well,
it.
yeah. Well, I mean, what the reality was, I proved everybody wrong, and
Yeah.
and so I'm very responsible for helping turn that company around. After if I'm going to be frank about it, Nick Aldis left it for dead and kicked dirt all over it, and that's cool. And I spoke to him prior to that, and I totally understand his point of view and frustrations and whatever. But I mean, it could have been a little bit smoother of a departure, and
Sure.
you know, and so it hurt the company bad. And I agreed with a lot of not a lot, but I agreed with some of the points that he made. And I kind of thought to myself, like, having done this so long and run my own little company and my own little schools and all this, and I was like, I see an opening to fix a lot of things. So that was when I started to step over from the wrestler part and into what we call the national promoter role of the
Sure.
title of my job, which basically means I pretty much pick and choose where we're doing the live events and how to market them. And then from there, I can do some other stuff behind the scenes that help facilitate that particular show. So, I mean, that's pretty much how it works for me. And I have been, I'm not going to like bullshit. Like, I've been very vocal about bringing certain people into the company. And I feel like I've brought actually the bulk of the recent special talents that we have. I feel like I brought them in. And
That makes sense.
I love crediting Billy for, listening and
Yeah.
trusting. And like, I can't say enough about that, dude. And I mean, I think you guys got a small uh sample size of it, but like Billy's awesome, dude. Like
Yeah.
he's so straight up. Like he just tells you what it is. And like he's like, if he likes something, he tells you. If you don't like something, he tells you. But either way, he's not shady, he's not weird. He's just a man of his word. He understands what loyalty is. And I mean, you want to talk being all over the world. Billy's taken me all over the world. I don't know if you guys know, but like me and Natalia Markova toured with the Pumpkins for like years,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
last couple of years, and we've done every major venue there is to do. And we're out there, and every night we do
Awesome.
a Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote bit where she basically beats me up on the stage, and you get huge pops, and it's just a little part of the show every night. But what an experience going on those tours, seeing all those places, and performing in every Major League Baseball stadium all over the country. Like, what I mean? You meet a lot of people, you see a lot of weird things. Like one night I had dinner with Steve Perry for Journey. You know what I mean? I got to go with Billy. I was the only person that went with Billy to Back to the Beginning, which was the Ozzy thing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just a 1 day thing for us. We were there for 3 days doing rehearsals and all the other stuff. So, I mean, getting to be a part of that too. I mean, obviously, I'm going to tell you Billy's the greatest because
Sure, but yeah, no, that what you said makes a lot of sense about loyalty and having respect, and those are things that run thin in a business like this. And,
yeah,
and we,
man.
we transitioned like Rocky Shore, I guess, but from a black guy on the NWA to recently two big headlines, man. And these were two things I wanted to bring up here this
Sure,
morning with you.
sure.
First of all, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. You told me a great story about him and the NWA North American title, so I want your take on that. And then we have to delve into this Vince Russo headline stuff over the
Oh
last
yeah.
couple of days. So let's hear
And
about
the
all that.
Meltzer stuff too.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do it. Yeah. So yeah, dude, Ronnie D, man, and I called him Ronnie D. I called him Ronnie D upon his exit from our conversation. And it was the coolest thing in the world. So there we were. He did a special announcement at Hogan's Hangout, which is a bar on Clearwater Beach, which is where I live, which is where
That's where Brian
I've.
Idol needs to live, is on Clearwater Beach. I love that. It's
It's,
such
it's,
wrestler country, brother.
oh yeah, absolutely, man. And I host guest hosted and guest judge karaoke every Monday night at Hogan's Hangout, along with Nick Hogan.
Yep.
Obviously Hulk used to be there. Jimmy Hart's there sometimes, Bushwhacker. Look, whatever legends pop up.
Yep.
And so DeSantis wanted to do the announcement of the Hulk Hogan Trail, which is basically a walking trail that goes down the bridge coming into Clearwater Beach. So here he is doing the announcement. So he goes upstairs. Like, this is behind the scenes before. Obviously, I can get upstairs there. I was there before he was anyway. So I thought it would be cool, right? Like, I was like, wow, I'd like to get a hello from the governor or whatever. But like, also didn't really. I thought I'd have to talk it a lot more than I did.
Brother yourself in there, yeah.
Right, yeah. and so it basically was more like he was up there talking to Nick and talking to the family, and then he was having a conversation with Jimmy Hart, who then saw me, and Jimmy was like, gave me a little hello from like, I don't know, 10 feet away. All of a sudden, DeSantis turns and looks at the belt and goes, "Is that what I think it is?" And I go, "Yeah." And he's like, "That's the real thing?" Because I think he's like putting 2 and 2 together as he looks at me. Because I'm standing there in a tank top and I'm not little. So he looks at me and he's like, is that the real thing? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh my God. He's like, I used to watch, he's like, I used to go to the Armory. He's like, I'm from around here. I used to go to the Armory.
Hesterly, baby.
Yeah, so he used to go to the one in Tampa, for FCW and everything. So he's like, knows the belt, telling me what a Dusty Rhodes fan he is and all this. And so now I'm in like a full, like, and then he goes, "How you doing, Ron? Nice to meet you."
DeSantis is marking out for Bryan Idol. I love it.
Basically, you know what I mean? And I'm not even joking. And then I had a great conversation with him. And like I said, he was telling me about his version of wrestling history and then telling me how much he loves, wrestling and how happy he was to do this deal for the Hulk Hogan Trail, and like it was his idea, and just how much he supports it and what an important part of his life it is. And I was like, wow, I was blown away. So then he he's like having this whole conversation with me, and then he's like, "Hey, can we get a pic with the belt?" And again, he said, "Can we get a pic with the belt?" So now I'm like nervously taking my phone out, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is totally great. I'm gonna get a picture of this." So I'm like, "Yeah, we'll just selfie it." And he's like trying to selfie it. Then he has like all these handlers there, and the one lady's like, "No, I'll take it." So she grabs his phone, takes the picture, then grabs my phone and takes the picture. It's like, wow. So then he continues to keep talking to me. So now we've had like a 5 to 7 minute conversation. Then he just looks at me. He's like, "I think I got to go down and make this announcement now." He's like, "Why don't you come downstairs?" And then so I let them go down the elevator, and then I go down next. And then the next funniest part is I go down the elevator, and it's like right there. You go down the elevator, and there's like a 5 feet before there's this little stage, and there's like this little walkway, and I'm standing in the walkway, and another handler he has, it's another lady, and she's, not very nice. And there's like all Secret Service there. And she's trying to, she's like, "You got to go," like trying to throw me out. And I'm like, "But I just came from up," and I'm like trying to quietly say, he's about to give a speech. And I'm telling you, DeSantis looks over and like gives me like a hand. And then the lady's like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry." And then I was like, dude, I know, but when he was going downstairs in the thing, I said what I say to him. I said, he said, I'm going to make this announcement. I said, "All right, go get him, Ronnie D." That's what I said. And then he went down the stairs. So that's where I got the Ronnie D line in on him.
But before we get to,
that's pretty
great.
cool.
That's great. But before we get to Russo and Meltzer,
okay.
I mean, where are you going? You're just driving your nuts off. It looks like you're driving the Back to the Future car during the entire podcast.
I'm telling you, this is a 1986 Pontiac Fiero, dude. It's like, so
where are you?
Well, since you guys got me at such a weird hour, I was like, well, I got a fun day planned today. So I was like, well, I'm going to start it out. I'm going to get some donuts. So I just drove to the local donut shop.
Hold on. That's a long drive, brother.
It was about a 20-minute drive to the donut shop. It's the only one that's open right now. Plus, it's the best one.
Oh, shit.
Wait, great. You're in Chicago?
No, I'm in Clearwater Beach, dude.
Florida.
Oh, you're actually in Clearwater Beach. Holy shit.
Yeah. And I just, I drove now. I'm in, I guess it's Pinellas. I'm right by where my wrestling school is in Pinellas. But these donuts are.
You're close. Best. Well, you're close to me. I didn't even realize that.
Well, let me give you a personal. So you live in what, Hudson or Spring Hill or what?
I live in Odessa.
Odessa, right. Yeah. So here's how I know this. So there's a Largo police officer that I used to talk to. He's actually come to some local FTW shows, and he said he was your neighbor. I don't know if he still is or at one point.
Yeah.
But you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, there's a couple of them in here. Yeah.
Well, he's like, he seems like about our age, got short hair, a real clean-cut guy. I think he's got 2 kids.
Yep. Yeah, like Rick and Tyler are one of them.
Yeah, his kids got dirt bikes. They're into dirt bikes, or recently a couple years ago.
Yeah, there's a couple, and there's a bunch of cops that live in
Well,
here.
I forgot his name, and he was a cool dude. That's why I'm trying to figure it out, because I'm like,
yeah, hell, I don't know. I'm
is
terrible with
somewhere in my
names.
phone. His number is somewhere in my phone, and I'm like, God, that guy was cool, man. I always used to talk to him, because when I was, I would always see him around over here at night. One time he helped me when my Corvette, I think the battery was fucked up, and he helped me jump it. And I never thought a cop would do that. You know what I mean? He's like, "What's the matter with this
That's
thing?"
a good point.
And I was like, "That guy's not gonna fucking help me." I was like, "I'm good, I'm good." He's like, "You sure?" He's like, "What's the problem?" I was like, "I think the battery's dead." He's like, "I'll jump it." I was like, "Oh shit, cops are helping people now."
Yeah, see, I'm terrible with names. I just thought you lived in Chicago.
Jesus.
Dude. Nah, dude, I live in Clearwater Beach. I host karaoke every Monday night at Hogan's Hangout.
Yeah, you're telling me all that. I'm like, oh, he must like to visit a lot.
He
or
must
something.
fly down to Clearwater every Monday. That's why.
There's no, that's no better trip on a Monday.
That's it. So
No,
see
so-
Bryan Idol at Hogan's Hangout, guest DJing every Monday night, and
I'm
let's
guest
talk
hosting,
about.
but yeah.
Let's talk
I love
about
that.
this. Let's talk about this Vince Russo Meltzer stuff. I saw it pop up. I had a hell of a day yesterday. It started to pop up on Monday, I believe. Right? That's when this.
Yeah, I think it was like Monday evening.
Yeah. So what happened?
So I started to dive into it real quick, Brian. I started to dive into. I didn't know anything about it, and then Gallows told me about it, and then I started to look at it a little bit, and I saw a couple things, and I go, I'm going to let Brian explain, because we've had Vince on Talking Shop. He's not a personal friend, but we had him on Talking Shop, and he was great. I mean, we got along with him fine.
He's definitely was a friend of the program.
Yeah, he's definitely a friend of the program, but and I think that we would get along if we ever hung out or something like that. But we have never spoke again since then. But just with that said, just explain the story, and we'll throw some comments in there.
Yeah.
Well, no. First of all, I want to say I like Vince Russo, because before I signed my contract with the NWA, which is a 3-year deal.
There you go. On the table, baby.
Oh, it's pretty solid. I signed a really good deal with them.
Good.
That's what I want people to understand. That's what's so awesome. You've got so much in the professional wrestling world where you can say that, and with confidence. And you're not just making things up. And I mean,
no,
you're
I
just
promise you, I'm not.
And you can.
It's not. You can Google it. It was all over the dirt sheets when I signed it.
But you can say it, and there you go. And that's what's so great about the thriving force of pro wrestling.
Scene is thriving, baby. Yeah,
but we're doing all right. But so first of all, I want to say though, at that time when I was about to sign that deal, and just to. I don't want to get off the topic quick, but I just want to get it in that things, if you ever heard of that reality show, Billy Corgan's Adventures in Carneyland.
Yep.
The part of the show, one of the main storylines of the show, and I actually wasn't there when they filmed most of it because I was already out of the company. And one of the main storylines was, I was like, these guys don't know what they're doing as far as getting fans to come to shows, and it doesn't matter what the product is in comparison to what they're not doing right, and it's killing the brand, and there's a way to fix this. And it was the question of, am I just carnying them and promising the world and not going to deliver shit, or is it like, is this an unfixable problem, or are they doing everything right, and I'm just trying to put people in a bad light. Anyway, it turned out I was right. Regardless, Vince Russo, when he reviewed the show, identified me as the breakout character and said a lot of very nice things about me, and said a lot of bad things about everybody else except for Billy, which I thought was unbelievable. And of course I was like, wow, anybody like that gives me respect like that.
It's an honest take, because he doesn't have a dog in the fight, and he just watched it and really analyzed it. It wasn't.
And when someone puts you over, they feel like your friend.
One of these paid corporate wrestling analysts of today that we see that put over
that are full of shit. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And he legit said things like, why am I not on the entire show? It's unwatchable when I'm not on it. It's the only thing he cares about. And then he also said that he would love to work with me, thinks I am, tremendous in every aspect. Like, just put me over to the moon. So that was awesome. And it was really cool. But back to what I was saying. So with Russo, what happened, I guess, was he did an interview, Monday or whatever, and it came out. And the one I saw was on a Jericho linked thing. And so it had quotes, and it said that he is working with the NWA and he's got 9 episodes written, and the things were outlandish that they were saying. Like, somebody's going to take a pee test and they got to watch him take the pee test. Some girl's going to do a Me Too movement thing.
Oh
Somebody's going to do a concussion thing but break the protocol. Like, all crazy. I was like, so I laughed. Of course, I text Billy and I was like, I'm like, did you do something I don't know about here? Like, and then Billy's like, I have no idea what this is. So now I know it's not anything. So I'm just kind of whatever. And then, how the X world is, or Twitter, or whatever, it's
baby.
yeah, it's only negative. So everybody starts, dumping on the NWA, dumping on Russo, dumping on this, dumping on that. And, at this point, I'm not afraid to say it either. I kind of consider myself, and I mean it in the worker sense and the literal sense, I'm kind of the face of the NWA. You know what I mean? I don't think there's anyone else in the position I'm in as both a wrestler and behind the scenes,
sure,
and also prominent in the thing. And I will say this, by the way,
too.
And let me just call it out because I know it's wrestling and people, whatever. Dude, Billy Corgan ain't the guy to do any favors, and he didn't do any favors for me as far as me getting over, which happened a lot with the Carneyland show and happened a lot in the ring. Because when I first came into NWA, I was doing a gimmick I never did before. I was pretending to be a fucking Italian Fabio model, and it was cool. But I'm saying, like, there was in my mind, there's no longevity there, and there was there's nothing I could go past a certain point. And then, I was told, he didn't think the people would accept me for me. And I was like, well, funny thing about it, I've been doing it all over the fucking world. So I feel like it's going to work. And again, it worked. And I'm just saying, all the things Billy did as a great boss, I'm just saying he never has ever given me special treatment. I don't just have the title because I booked myself to have the title. I don't do the booking. I've never once said, I care if I win or lose or any of that shit. That is just a fact that I just want to put out there while we're talking about this. Like, I don't give a shit. I could lose the title tomorrow and never win a match again for the next, remainder of my NWA contract days. And I would never complain because at the end of the day, it's a job and I love the job and I don't really care. So anyway, but I do consider myself pretty much the face of the NWA. So I feel like when the entire world of X is dunking on the NWA and talking shit, well, I got to kind of make some points and I got to kind of speak my mind. And probably the only thing I regret about it is I use a mix of talking text and then correcting the text. And I do the worst job proofreading it. So I come off as borderline illiterate every time I do it. And I'm like, oh my God, how did I? And I mean, you can tell I can talk. I don't shut up. So I'm saying, like, imagine these things just get wild. So, but yeah, I started like kind of firing back and I kind of pointed out things like, well, so, and then, well, let me say this. I contacted Vince Russo and I've only talked to him once before. And so I contacted him and I just said, like, I just kind of put it in his court. And I said, what's the deal with this? And then he explained it to me as this is all happening in real time. He said, he didn't say NWA. Somebody else did. That's what got run. He just let it go because why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
And he was like, good. Now there's a way to work this. And so he said to me, like, the things you're saying, if you're working, that's cool. But he wanted to make sure that he told me he has nothing but respect for the NWA, me and Billy.
That's
and
cool.
So he didn't want any heat like that or anything, which is smart because I'm the kind of guy, like, if it's real like that, not only will I say fuck you publicly on Twitter, but like if I see you, then I probably will fucking smack you in the ear really hard because, like, there's a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, and again, I pointed this out and it sounds like, like a promo, but like, some wrestlers, I think it was the Young Bucks that said it one time. I don't know. I don't pay attention that much, but somebody said something like, promote yourself, not the brand. Put yourself, maybe was it you guys? I don't.
Maybe.
Hey, listen,
we said so many things over the years.
There's a weird reason. There's a weird reason why we all got along, buddy.
Yeah.
It's because we're very similar mindsets.
So I'm saying, but like me personally, and as far as, and I agree with all that, but I'm saying, except with the NWA, I do feel differently because I feel like Billy has really given me things, like, and given me the opportunity to finally do things the right way or the way I see fit, and like with input, and as far as like I said, as far as bringing in some talent and having a little bit of a say in that and kind of creating opportunities for others, and then also, like, acknowledging the hard work I put in and being a motivator instead of a hater. So for that, I fucking wear the NWA on my sleeve, and I'll take the fucking bullet for the company, which is not something I would normally do. But unlike in this case, like, dude, I'm all in on it. So
It's a,
I
it's
don't,
a it's a unique and special thing in this business to respect and like your boss. That's a great
yeah,
thing because
yeah.
it's a lot of times not like that, as
Oh,
we've
I
seen
mean, love him to death, and
throughout the history.
I mean, love him to death. And I mean,
Yeah,
he's on video saying it, I mean, I'm one of his best friends in the whole world. And
yeah,
it's just, it worked out that way. And it really wasn't about wrestling. I'm a musician too. And I think that's where, once we got into that world with each other,
yeah.
it was like kind of wild. And we were like, this is like, he was just like, we're both like, didn't realize that like what a wavelength we're on. And again, when I say it, it sounds pretentious and cocky because it's Billy fucking Corgan who wrote masterpiece songs, and compared to that, I've done jack shit. But I'm saying somewhere in this world there is a
Sure.
wavelength that we exist
Yeah.
on in that
Yeah.
musical world, and that's incredible. And I'm again, it's just like, so all that considered, it's like, dude, there's times in life you pick your battle, you choose your battles and pick your spots. I would march into a fucking buzzsaw and chop my head off if that's what it fucking took to preserve the fucking integrity and the fucking, the soul of what the NWA is under Billy's vision. Which I don't think he gets a lot of credit for. And everybody wants to talk shit. And there's whole YouTube videos where a guy does this fucking weekly or monthly wrap up of the NWA and he just shits all over it. And I get it. People want to hear that shit. It's fun. It's fun and it's funny. Like, I get it. It's like, what? Nobody wants to hear a fan make a video and say, the NWA is the greatest thing in the world. Bryan Idol's fucking amazing. Like, nobody cares. They're like, all right, yeah, I agree. Okay, cool. But it's better when you hear them fucking call me fucking stupid names and say I suck and say everybody else sucks and Billy's out of his mind and he should fire himself and blah, blah, blah. And so, but like in that case, I wouldn't really stand up to it. But in this thing where like JCW is getting the rub. And then the funny part is that people don't know is that Violent J, from Insane Clown Posse,
Yeah.
some people don't realize he was in NWA for the last couple of years
Yeah.
as a manager and cutting promos. And he very much wanted to have a federational, like, territory working relationship with the NWA. So I know they know the value of it. And so that's what I was pointing out to fans publicly is like, hey, man, they used us right there to get the rub to make their thing more legit. And that's all well and good. Nobody cares. That's cool. But like, don't sit here and take a shit on us and be like, oh, well, the NWA is so bad. Nobody cares. Dave Meltzer saying nobody cares. Like, Dave Meltzer is a fucking creep, dude. And has fucking hurt more careers of perfect strangers for no fucking reason with no real knowledge of anything. I just can't get behind it, dude. It's one thing to give an opinion, but like he's gotten away with some crazy shit, like crazy speculations. And I'm not even going to get into it today because it's not the day. But believe me, dude, he has said shit that has horribly affected people and just went under the fucking wayside because he's Dave Meltzer. And if Dave Meltzer says so and so is hated in the locker room, and by the way, that affects the rest of their whole fucking life, Dave Meltzer heard it, so it must be fucking true. And he really needed to say that for fucking the 50 cents that he made off it. So it's like, I think again, it's entertainment for fans and whatever, but guys like that to me are just so stupid. And it's like he's a fucking
It really felt like an unnecessary shot when I saw that portion.
Oh, yeah. But you know why? Because Billy will never – because here's the difference. Other wrestling promoters, and I say what you will, I'm saying Tony Khan is a fucking multi-billionaire. He has more money than Billy Corgan, right?
Right.
Okay, but at the end of the day, he's just Tony Khan, the wrestling promoter, or Tony Khan, son of the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, or, just Tony Khan, the billionaire. Billy fucking Corgan is a legendary rock star. Take away, he could be a fucking penniless bum. He wrote the fucking some of the greatest songs that exist in this universe. Like, if you could tell me a fucking cooler rock song than Bullet with Butterfly Wings, or you know what I'm saying, dude? Like, or if you tell me a fucking song you've heard more in fucking passing than fucking 1979 or Tonight, it's like those things play at the fucking grocery store. They play at rock concerts. They play at the library. It's everywhere. You can't escape it. And so I'm saying, like, he doesn't have this fucking complex where he needs to be like, oh, let me kiss up to Dave Meltzer so he says good things about me. Like, Billy Corgan's like, I don't give a fuck, dude. He's like, I'm Billy Corgan, the rock star. Like, if you don't like my NWA, he's like, get over yourself. So I think that's why Dave Meltzer makes a concerted effort to shit on all things NWA. And good for him. Like I said, he must make 50 cents off it. And I mean, I can't imagine my life being so fucking sad that every time somebody shows me on TV and I'm a wrestling fucking journalist, that I have to fucking pump my arms up to the point where the fucking veins ready to pop out and pretend like that's normal. You know what I mean? Because I notice it. I literally watch him on Dark Side of the Ring or any of these other things, and he's always fucking flexing his arm while he's talking like this. Like, he'll be like, yeah, I just don't, you know what I mean? And I'm like, get the fuck out of here with this. Like,
And
weirdo, man.
and with that though, you did, like you said right away, and we can switch into it now. Is that
Sure.
you said NWA is on a major channel? We're on a major Roku
Oh,
channel.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
on Roku, by the way. And by the way, I've heard other major feds, people in other major feds tell me that those feds are jealous of the deal we have. And I was like, yeah, they're like, like, everybody thinks being on TV is just some cable network or a satellite network. They're like, the reach that Roku has and the potential of what's there. It's 86 million viewers a day on the front page of Roku.
On Roku.
It doesn't mean that there's 86 million people watching
Sure.
the NWA.
But the
But
opportunity is absolutely there, and it's
there
more
you go.
accessible than all these other shows are, and you can't deny that. So
That's what I'm saying. And so to shit on it like, oh, they've got nothing and whatever, and backtrack a little bit. And it all comes from, the rumors and the dumb shit of the CW network where, oh, they did a cocaine spot and they lost their network deal. That's not what happened, dude. What happened was pretty obvious. WWE last minute struck a deal with CW. CW said, okay, we got a conflict of interest here. What are we going to do? We're going to go with the billionaire horse WWE, or we're going to go with the underdog NWA. They're like, oh, let me think. Tough deal here. We paid all this money for WWE. Let's go with WWE. Sure. And probably would have completely booted us off the app and network if it wasn't for the fact that Billy Corgan's the owner, because probably the last thing they wanted after they got sued by MLW was for Billy Corgan to go to Rolling Stone magazine and every billboard. And
yeah,
that's it. And then say, oh, we're getting bamboozled out of our deal that we had. And so instead, Billy, like I said, Billy's not a beggar. He's Billy Corgan, the rock star. He doesn't care. He's like, okay, so this is a change of plans. Good. We'll go in another direction. Don't worry about it. And they were like, we'd love to have you on the app still. He was like, okay, great. Let's do that. And the whole time we were shopping around for what works for us. And, maybe the average person doesn't know. You guys, this is a good time to get me because it's like I'm half asleep and half awake. So I'm just fucking letting it ride. So I'll probably get fired tomorrow. But
no, you're good.
Regardless,
you can't get fired for pushing the company too hard, can you?
No, you can't.
Maybe. I don't know. Let's find out.
Yeah.
But
well, you're speaking to the right guys, so
I know. That's exactly. You guys know. But yeah, the process of getting a TV deal is not a fucking overnight thing, dude. It's insane how long it takes. I'll tell you what, I'll leak a piece of information, and it's not even really because Billy has said it. There are other deals that we have. They haven't even been announced yet.
Sure.
Yeah. So, and one of them is, I dare say, large. And someone would be like, oh my God, how have they not been hyping this up? Well, because, like I said, who knows, even though all the paperwork signed, everything's done, who knows when it even happens?
Oh,
we got a cat. Oh, look at that cat, dude.
Oh, he's the biggest pain in my ass, but he's here.
Well, I do want to say this. I went to Big LG's house the night before we went to the Atlanta NWA tapings, and we were working out in Gallows' gym in his basement, which is
beautiful.
He has a big, beautiful house, of course. But on the TV was.
I said I have to show you this NWA show. I don't think you've seen it.
Yeah, because
okay.
I'm insane like you, Bryan, and I've been out of. I don't watch anything or know anything, and so he puts it on the TV, and I go, "Fuck, this looks really good."
It looks amazing on television.
Yeah, so it looked good on TV. It looked awesome on TV, and it's on a TV. I'm sitting there watching it. Then we go to the tapings that day, and it's in center stage. There was an amazing crowd there. When we came out, there was a great response. the place was ran with, I mean, incredible amount of
dialed in professionalism. We both
yes.
Yeah,
found that.
absolutely.
I,
Absolutely, man.
I was blown away only because I just haven't seen a whole lot of things.
Well,
You
we've
know,
seen a lot of. You've seen a lot of.
well,
I
I've
mean,
been
Yeah,
in
let's
we've
be
all
places.
seen,
honest.
yeah,
Over
we've all
20
been on
plus
shit
years,
shows.
we've seen a lot of stuff that was not run like that.
Right. Even major companies, some major
Yeah.
companies that you would consider not indie, you go in
Yep.
there backstage and you're like, this is what the fuck. There's two people running around like chickens with their heads cut off
Right.
and everything's out of whack. And you're like, this is an indie show, but somehow it's not.
Yeah,
And
no, I was impressed.
and yeah, no, it's run right. There's still some things to fix, man. But there's some surprises. Like, like some fans don't like the vignettes we're doing now. And that might be a writing thing, but like lo and behold, dude, they don't even know. We have a fucking Emmy award-winning director directing those. He's not writing them, but he's directing them. So I'm saying, like, there's a lot of talent doing a lot of things there, a lot of talented people that are under the radar, and just things that are happening. And so it's still, even from what you've seen, even on the TV show, we're improving it weekly and figuring out, hey, this looked good, this didn't look good, this translated, this didn't translate. So it's a process, and you got to be in it for the for a little bit of the long haul. Otherwise, if you just stick with one thing and you just push it, it usually, it's going to get stale and it's going to get weird. So we're still, even with the formatting, just playing with how many promos, how many vignettes, you know what I mean? Let's stick with 3 matches. Is it going to be 2 matches? Is it going to be 4 matches? How do we, you know what I mean? And
It's
still,
also television wrestling. It's not running a spot show and just throwing it
right,
on a YouTube channel.
right,
It's got to have continuity. It's got to have
right,
story, and it's got to have a reason for those new viewers that watch for the first time to go, "Oh shit, I want to find out." The storyline I've seen now
right,
that I'm watching. Who's going to get the money? You were in that storyline.
right. Well, yeah,
About the
that's,
money, and then they said you can't get the money, but you don't want to fuck over your girlfriend getting
so
the money. Like now I
yeah,
can
yeah,
follow that, and there's
yeah,
continuity
yeah,
to it. And if it's gone next week, then I go, well, what the fuck happened? Who
yeah,
got the
but yeah.
money? That's
So
yeah.
again, it's all still a work in progress, but yes, we're heading in that direction, but I can't claim perfection on all that, and I think there is a ways to go for us. But imagine that we're basically doing this in real time.
Sure.
So, and I know the fans complain. The one big complaint we get over and over and over is, the tape delay, right? um it kind of blows my mind because, like, TNA's done it forever and they seem to knock out a million complaints, but we do, and it's cool. But even I've been vocal about wanting to change that, but I also realize just how hard it is when you're delivering that amount of content. So
Yeah.
it's one of the hills you got to kind of die on there. And you're like, it's rough that you can't get past that for production reasons unless you're going to start doing live programming. And,
It's
and
also,
that's
yeah, that was my point. It's also smart business to not do that. I remember being in TNA in 2012, 2013, and Dixie Carter, for better or for worse, said, well, we have to be live. Well,
Yep.
the expense to that
Was
compared to
killer.
when they were
Yeah.
taping, I mean, it killed the business model. Honestly, they all think I think that it was the high money guys being involved, and maybe there was some of that, but the
Yeah.
expense of going live from live to tape was
Oh, it's
incredible.
brutal. Yeah, it's
And,
brutal.
and then you take that into these arenas and stuff, and it wasn't something that they could sustain. So
Yep,
it makes
exactly.
sense. It's a
Yeah,
business
so
model. So
you hear people complain about that shit. So some of it you can control, some of it you can't. But I love the direction we're headed in, and I
yeah,
see improvement each and every week. Personal favorite was the entire first season, as we call it. And I think you were watching that same season, 24, I think it's labeled
yep.
as. They show a 1-minute clip of me winning the TV title in every episode over and over, which, I mean, I can't ask for much more,
That's
And thank
Give me
God I
my
was in.
minute. That's all I need, baby. It's
Yeah, I
just
was
me
like,
going
thank
over
God
for
I'm
the
in some.
belt.
That's it,
that's
over and over, same clip,
yeah.
and I was like, thank God I'm in some kind of shape, because they showed it so much, and I was like, all right, I look good, so that's all I need.
You said something. You were about to walk out in Juarez, Mexico. You're about to go out, and I don't know what we were talking about. And you go, "Yeah, I don't give a fuck." And you turned around, walked away. Your music hit, and you walked out. I looked at Big LG. I said, "Fuck that! I like that guy." He
Oh,
said,
yeah.
"Me too, man."
That guy's a full blown pro wrestler, brother.
Yes. So I don't know. I don't know much about him. I think I just found a friend.
Oh, I appreciate it, man.
You
Yeah, I don't
know?
know, man. It's just, it's a gig. You just do
Oh
it, and
shit!
it was a great time, though, huh?
Oh, it
What's
was
his?
fun. A lot of
Oh
fun.
my God, I feel like a jerk. Say his name. The
Pagano.
Pagano. There you go.
Pagano,
Sorry.
yes.
5:30 in the it's 6 in the morning now. Pagano is very cool, man. And what a cool little thing that was in a
What a thing to
wild
put
place.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
That
Yeah,
drone
is he a
show.
AAA superstar? That's
He's a
right, right?
AAA superstar. He was a AAA tag team champion. I don't know if they still have the belts. I know they were doing something with WWE.
Well,
But
overall,
yeah,
just Mexican legend.
Mexican legend all the way across the board.
And so how cool that we got to perform in cartel country.
Yeah, we sure did. Next week we're going to be back in Mexico. You're probably on the show. You're everywhere. We're
I don't know.
Crash Lucha Libre on
Oh,
November
Crash,
the
cool, yeah.
7th. Yeah, we'll be down there this
Oh,
weekend.
nice.
Where are we at? We might as well talk about it.
Yeah,
We're
plug
going
it.
to be at Fourth Rope, Heels Have Eyes, Six Flags Over New Jersey this Thursday night.
Nice.
Then we head to England after trick-or-treating with the kids Friday night. We'll be in Birmingham, England at Rock and Roll Collectibles this coming Saturday.
Nice.
And then on Sunday, we will be at Rev Pro in London. Bryan, where can we see you on tour, good brother?
Actually, this weekend I'm staying local. Small little show right on 19 in Hudson at Circle Barbecue.
Here we
I'll
go.
be out there. Yeah, nice and easy for me, man. Can't beat it. Friday I'm staying home. So Saturday, it's light weekend for me. Just Saturday, Circle Barbecue. Next weekend, I am in Las Vegas, and then I'm in Thursday Vegas, right? Then Friday I'm in Detroit.
I love it.
Detroit area. Oh my God. It would help if I remember the feds. These guys hate me if they watch this. They'll be like, yo, you're such a dick.
We'll post it. Don't worry.
The name of the show is called On Our Own, which is a Bobby Brown song from Ghostbusters 2. So I love it. And then I don't know. I'm somewhere else. Whatever, dude. Then the following week, it's just I can't look at my calendar. You guys got my.
So how do they follow you on social media? Because it'll obviously be there.
There you go. That's how we solve this. So just at like Instagram or X or I think Facebook is all the same. Like at the Bryan Idol, BRYANIDOL. So it's THE in front of it. So yeah, man. And then you guys could check. Everybody could check it out there and find whatever show I'm on, but all the ones I really care about, to be honest, NWA, December 13th, Tampa, Florida.
I really care about.
Well, I mean, hey.
I love it. December 13th, the tapings are they in Tampa?
Yeah, PBS Studios.
Tampa, Florida, PBS Studios, and then more dates to come. We kind of know them, but we can't say them yet, but stay tuned, baby.
That's how it goes.
When this drops, we will be in San Diego, we'll be in Tijuana, and we'll fly from Tijuana directly back to Thomasville,
Georgia.
Thomasville, Georgia.
We'll be in Thomasville, Georgia on the Saturday, and then Sunday I'll be in Tifton, Georgia. I have to talk to you about that. There was no way to change your flight to get you there. So.
Hey-oh.
And NWA Power is every Tuesday night
on Roku, channel 210 Roku Sports Channel. But little known fact, you can just type in NWA Power on Roku and you can watch it on demand. That's how I found it.
I didn't know what I was doing. I typed in NWA and it popped right up. I saw a picture of big, beautiful Tom Latimer, and I said, that's what I need.
Yep. And if you don't like any of those episodes and you want something from the older era, let's call it the Nick Aldis era, you go to the Wrestling Central channel, which I believe is 208, but it's called Wrestling Central. You can search it. And we just run continuous old episodes of NWA as well as 25% of the programming is also WOW, the women's wrestling company.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's all mixed together there on that channel.
My good pal Nigel Sherrod, the commentator of WOW. It's a good thing.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. So, yeah, man, it's, go ahead.
Sweet. Yeah, no, very cool. That's so much rocking, baby. Yeah, they do. Honestly, though, thanks for getting up and coming on with us. Thanks for doing it like this while you're driving to the 45 minutes to the donuts.
I just been sitting out here. They think I'm nuts, dude. I'm parked right in front of the place right now. The car's lit up. I'm moving my hands around. I look aggressive. I see the guy looking.
You don't come in and rob the place dry.
Yeah, of course, you look the way you look.
Exactly. They're like, oh, geez, dude, this is not good.
Yeah.
Pump your arms up before you go in there, brother. You know that.
I will.
The NWA World Television Champion, Bryan Idol, thanks for coming on Talking Shop. You're a friend of the show. I'm gonna kick you out of here, and we're gonna close it out
for sure, baby.
All right, man. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys soon. All right.
Thanks, brother. We'll see.
Take it easy.
What a guest!
Wow.
What a
He's great. So much fun shit there.
Yeah, he's a fun talker too. It's fun to listen to him.
He is a fun talker. He's a fucking psycho. You can see it.
You love it.
God, Guys, thank you. Catch the NWA Power every Tuesday night on the Roku Sports Channel.
Yep.
They got a hell of a little TV deal there, and we heard from Bryan. He's got a 3-year deal with the NWA. How do we get one of those?
Boy, he was happy about that. I love.
Yeah, we want to deal with everybody.
I love hearing the boys talk about their contracts and their money. I know that we've gotten negative light on us over the years, but it really is a positive thing. You love to hear the guys doing well. That's what
we just want everyone to make money.
That's it.
Guys, for Talking Shop, goodbrothers@gmail.com. Reach out, hit us up, email us thegoodbrothers.dashery.com for some Good Brothers shirts.
Those beautiful shirts.
Some Falcons Nest hats.
Ooh, look at those beautiful hats.
I went straight from the gym. I went straight from my workout directly to this. I'm just pouring sweat still.
I went to bed.
One of those days.
I had a hell of a day yesterday. So
yeah. Rest in peace to the Talking Shops, Scotty Beach. And guys, hit us up. Follow us on all podcast platforms. Listen to the boys. And we're out of here. Appreciate you.
Good Brother Corn.